Hi, in this video, I'm going to briefly discuss the three economics articles I summarized last week and why I thought they were interesting and how they connect to the economic history I've learned in the class. In the first article, How Will the Politicians Escape Enormous Public Debts explains that the debt to GDP ratios in advanced economics are now approaching levels last seen during major wars. Largely because the government has been spending heavily on welfare, defense, and climate-related programs, and historically, the countries reduce debts through the economic growth, inflation, and something else. But each of those options carries heavy political trade-offs. And the second article, the once government debts are riskier than they appear, argues that it's not just the size of the debts that matters, but also the structure. Many governments rely on short-term borrowings and depend heavily on foreign investors. And this means its confidence can collapse very quickly, similar to what happens in 1970s inflation period and the 1990s emerging markets crisis. And in the third article, why inflation falls without the recession explains why the inflation dropped in 2024, mainly because supply chains healed and central banks tightened policy at the right pace. It warns that the continued government borrowing could reignite inflation. And for me, I find these articles interesting because they show how the interconnected fiscal policy, monetary policy, and financial markets really are, and how governments really face limits and less visible on the surface. And they will highlight how easy it is for the policymakers to feel comfortable with high debt levels until the sudden shift in investment confidence makes the situation unstable. And more importantly, also articles related directly to the themes from the economic history. After the Second World War, for example, the government related like massive debts through fast growth and control fiscal like conditions. And in the 1970s, the inflation surged partly because the government relies on borrowing and loose monetary policy. And in the 1990s, the countries that depends heavily on the foreign debt were hit hard when the markets peaked. And the same historical mechanisms like something like debts and inflation, confidence, and the physical limits of the states are appearing again today. And these articles help me understand how current debates about the deficit, inflation, and stability are really the modern version of the long run historical circles.